There's this fashion outlet called Balenciaga. They're very high-end fashion, and they did these creepy photos with kids in it holding BDSM stuff and teddy bears with BDSM on it, and it's gross. And so we covered it, and it's gross, sexualizing children like that. But the only thing now, what could be funnier or what could be worse than that? What could be worse than them doing that? The View having an opinion on it. If there's anybody out there in the world who says that they don't watch The View, ironically, I am not going to believe them. Okay, so watch how they cover this. Hey, Joy, can you make it about Trump? Let's see.
Let's see.
So fashion house Balenciaga, a very, posh, is under fire for a controversial fetish-themed ad campaign featuring child models, okay? Balenciaga blames the production company for the ads. They have a kid posing with S&M stuff. But the set designer says Balenciaga executives were on the set. They knew what was happening. Are they taking a page from Trump's notebook and say, I didn't know nothing. I know.
Oh my God.
That's the best you can do to tie Trump to this? That wasn't good enough, Joy. That's the best way you can tie Trump to this? Okay, here we go.
Nothing, I say nothing. What's going on here?
I found this ad campaign particularly distasteful in this moment. So
I like how she refers to it as distasteful.
You got to be kidding me.
She calls it distasteful. Okay.
Anti-LGBTQ sentiment right now, and how it's being framed is as portraying, trans people as groomers. This is a term you'll hear on the far right. They're groomers. This is where you get the anti-drag queen stuff that we're seeing.
So that's Alyssa Farah Griffin, and she's bringing the focus on what's really important here. It's not that the kids were put in an S&M themed bondage ad deliberately. It's that it might add fuel to the fire about groomers, which is a totally made-up right-wing thing, except for this one Balenciaga ad, which I guess shows it's not. You tell me. You got anything to say, Craig, yet? You can jump in anytime you want. I'm going to stop and start this video. It's unbelievable.
I'm just lost for words. I don't know what I can say about this thing. Please.
Let's continue.
I just think it's weird that they're saying the term distasteful.
Distasteful.
This is beyond distasteful. This is exploiting children. That's not distasteful. That's criminal. Back to Jimmy.
Thanks.
Child models, they said, by the way. These child models. No, these are children.
These are children. Child models. So let's get a running start at this because I think what she's saying deserves.
They're groomers. This is where you get the.
Okay. I don't even know you're allowed to say that word. Okay, let's see what she says.
As portraying, trans people as groomers. This is a term you'll hear on the far right. They're groomers. This is where you get the anti-drag queen stuff that we're seeing. So Balenciaga played right into their hands by having kids in a sexualized manner, carrying something that represents, sex acts. I think it was a really bad misstep at a moment where it's just kind of a dangerous time to even give credence to those kind of insane.
So it's not what Balenciaga did. It's that Balenciaga gave credence to. They're not bad people at Balenciaga putting kids in S&M ads. It's that it helped someone else who's bad. Do you see that? How? Thanks a lot, Balenciaga. You're giving credence to these insane takes that rich elites are satanic creeps. And what's worse, people may trust child drag shows even less now. The elites are a bunch of satanic creeps. Do you know what Jeffrey Epstein is? Do you know Bill Clinton was on his flight for 27 times? Do you know Bill Gates? Do you know all of them? You know that's why they had to kill him? Okay, here we go.
Distasteful.
Won't someone please think of the drag queens in this situation?
They said misstep, by the way. Oh, it was just a misstep. We put kids, exploitating
Yeah, I mean, we can't even show the picture because it's so distasteful. But what's also very distasteful is like Balenciaga lately. I mean, their stuff is just ugly. I mean, the bag that their little girl is holding is ugly. Do you remember when Kim K?
Finally, Sonny Hostin comes in with the best take of all. The designs were ugly. That's the real crime here, a fashion crime. This is amazing.
Was dressed in Balenciaga for the
She loves
for the
it.
Met
Is that
Gala.
the black-
Look at that!
Oh,
she looked like a bat or something. I mean, so they are. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if their intent is to be subversive and draw attention to the issues, or are they just making ugly things?
What I don't understand is how they can sue somebody when they designed a bag for their holiday season. The bag is shaped like a teddy bear wearing bondage gear. Now, it takes hundreds of people.
Ugly.
It takes hundreds of people in a fashion house like Balenciaga to approve a design, to approve an ad campaign. So I'm sorry, you guys. I know you're trying to cover your ass, but you got bigger problems than. You got to look inside your house because you've got people who are not doing their job well and who have no damn common sense.
And anyone who's worked in
You got to look into your house when they don't have any common sense. Are you kidding me? They knew exactly what they were doing. They knew exactly that what their models were going to be, children, and that the children were going to be displayed with S&M stuff around them. That's it. That's it, because it's acceptable in our society to exploit children. And none of these women are saying shit about the exploitation of women. That's the most shocking part about this.
Well, The View is such a harmful portrayal of women, isn't it? Because it depicts 5 female stooges who can't even muster up the gravitas of 3 male stooges. Craig, you wanted to say anything about this?
Well, I have a question. And now that we had, I was kind of curious to what Steph was thinking over there. Steph, do you think this is about grooming society? You know what I'm saying? More about like we obviously know. They said they were suing the company who did the commercial, but we know 100 executives or whatever there are. They're going to say, "Oh yeah, let them just go ahead and do a commercial without them knowing exactly what was going on." I mean, we have to realize that they knew exactly what was going on. But why did they do this? Was this about grooming the society? About planting seeds? I don't know.
I first think that I don't belong to the culture of fashion. Like that's not like a part. Like I'm not going to go to Fashion Week in New York. I don't even know of this name brand. I don't really follow name brands. So I find all of these women are probably slaves to fashion. They probably have access to all the designers on The View. They all seemed kind of like, this is a silly oopsie that Balenciaga did, right? Instead of the outrage on behalf, aren't some of these women on this panel parents? So they would be okay with their child being displayed, and they signed off on it. Again, I think it's weird that the first woman talked about grooming already, or just she took the point of view that, our culture is all, about
what's bad about this?
Discouraging LGBT. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what she looks at this and she immediately thinks about another subject.
That wasn't the subject at all. That was weird.
How is this going to affect drag queens? That's what she thought about. This is gonna be bad for them, not for the kids. She give a shit about the kids in the story.
No, she had no position on the story.
Let's see. There's more to this.
Like what she was doing though was like almost the same thing they did when they appointed KGP or Karine Jean-Pierre. They put this like invisible shield around to protect. So in other words, they're using this subject to go and say, "Oh, look at the trans people or whatnot." They're putting like an invisible shield around this issue so you can't attack it that much, or you won't want to, because then if you are talking about it, you might be offensive towards trans people or whatnot. I mean, that's what I'm seeing.
Let's see. I think there's a little bit more to this.
Company, it doesn't take a fashion house. Any company you work in, we all complain of bureaucracy and how many nets and loops and how many eyeballs and lawyers and standards have to look at every single thing. There is no world in which that was not seen on the front end, on the set.
seen to approve the pictures.
They like the
seen
ugly
to, yes.
stuff. So it's like been happening over and over again. They had a garbage bag shaped like a trash bag.
So the blonde woman almost made a good point, but thank God Sonny Hosen's there to bring it back to complete fucking idiocy. Thank God. So thanks Sonny for steering that boat back to Dingbat Beach. She went back to how ugly this stuff is.
And it was $1,790.
Were they the potato chip bag too?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I think they're the
it was
ones
a
that-
Frito-Lay bag.
Don't you remember what's her name?
So now they're all complaining about how ugly the stuff is. They've barely talked about what's happened. All they're doing is talking about how ugly their stuff is. I wonder why people, boy, they're really doing a lot for women.
Kim Kardashian was wrapped in crime tape that said Balenciaga from head to toe.
Oh, I don't remember
It must
that
have
one.
hurt to take off.
Maybe we're getting punked. I think maybe it took this campaign for us to say
Is it a subversive
this is, yes.
campaign?
But for the record, Kim Kardashian, who was the ambassador for this brand, is reevaluating her relationship with Balenciaga.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just saying.
Oh, and I have.
And here we have a note. Go ahead.
Balenciaga has apologized and is taking legal action against
their
the production company North Six and set designer Nick.
So they won't stop. It's amazing till the very end. And they apologize for how ugly their clothes are. This is amazing.
Desjardins, an agent for Desjardins, said everyone from Balenciaga was on the shoot and was present on every shot and worked on the edit of every image in post-production, adding that he is being used as a scapegoat and is hiring a legal team. North Six has declined to comment on the allegation.
Okay, there you go. That's the news from The View, huh? Isn't it fantastic? It's a talk show that occurs during the day when women are home. That's the whole idea. Craig, anything else you want to say about this?
I just still don't know. I want to know why they did this, what this is about. I mean, I believe this is tied into the deeper, the bigger picture, whatnot, what they're trying to do to society. And, it's this is the grooming of the children, and they're just making it more acceptable now. I don't know.
So you are you are saying that what Balenciaga was doing is grooming. You are saying that.
I'm saying they 1,000% knew what that blonde lady was saying. They 1,000% knew what they were doing. Why did they do it? This is part of the bigger picture, the grooming, whatnot. I don't know. Maybe you can get Ye on to tell us what Balenciaga was about before they ditched him, Jimmy, because I'd like to know a little bit more about the company itself, because this seems very, very Epstein kind of creepy-like.
Very Epstein creepy-like. This wasn't an accident. This was thought about. They talked about it. I got my degree in marketing communications, which is advertising. And I've been an actor. I used to audition for commercials for the first 20 years of my life in Los Angeles. Believe me, they go over every ad with a fine tooth comb and a microscope, and nothing gets out that they don't approve 100,000%. So, not one person, not two people, thousands of fucking people. There had to be at least, I bet you, 25 to 30 people at least okaying that going on.
Well, I have to say that after watching The View interview, I was kind of relieved to hear that Kim Kardashian was going to reevaluate her relationship with Balenciaga.
Yeah, they're in trouble, Balenciaga now.
Because I think it's great that she's, being presented as like the moral compass here.
Yeah.
What a relief, because, we all know how she came to fame. Anyways, back to Jim.
Okay.
Reevaluated. Put another 0 on the contract. Now my reevaluation's done.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah. I think she said it. What she said, that Kim Kardashian is reevaluated. Like, they're in trouble now. Kim Kardashian's going to pull her. Mm-hmm. Hey, we're doing live stand-up comedy in Los Angeles, December 9th, 16th, 23rd, and 30th. And we're going to be in Tempe, Milwaukee, Minneapolis, Nashville. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for all those tickets. See you there.